Hey guys, this is Charlie, Natasha for Kracht Amsterdam, and we have today's home workout for you here. Today's home workout is quite a long 24-minute AMRAP. AMRAP is as many repetitions as possible. And the round you're going to repeat consists of 24 skater jumps, which is probably for you a new movement, but a great way to strengthen your glutes, amongst other things. Followed by 18 dumbbell or kettlebell snatches if you do the equipped variation, and single arm bottle high pulls. I'm saying bottle because that's what we demo with, but it could just as well be like a book high pull. Followed by 12 double push-up burpees. So depending on whether you do the workout equipped, you can use a dumbbell or kettlebell, and if you do it as body weight, there will be one movement that is not a body weight movement, but a movement with something you have at home, which could be, for example, a filled water bottle or like a heavy book or something like that. We're gonna do this warming up in the same way as we did yesterday. We're gonna do the full first round together, and then you get the opportunity to pause the video so that you can finish the other rounds before we go to a mobility part, which will be done in the same setup, and then we're gonna run you through the movement standards. Alrighty, let's get started. First, we're gonna start with the warming up, and that starts with lateral line hops. So you're just gonna draw a line on the floor or just find a spot to jump over, and then for 20 reps, you're gonna jump from the left to the right. You're going to try to land on the front of your foot, like the balls of your feet, and you're going to try to leave the floor as quickly as you can. After 20 laterals, you go for jumps forward and backwards. So it's going to be the same quick hops, but this time you jump forward and backwards over that line. 20 repetitions in total. Then up next, we have the good morning. This good morning can be performed with or without weight. Basically, you're going to bend your knees slightly, and then you're going to bend at your hips as far as possible. And this we will do for 10 reps. Now, after the first 2 reps, I'm now going to give Natasha a dumbbell that she's going to hold in the goblet position, and she finishes her 10 in total, which you can do at home as well. Don't feel bad if you don't have a weight. This is just as effective to warm up the hamstrings without weight as that it is with weight. Then we go for 10 scapular push-ups to finalize our warming up round. And in the scap push-up, you can move those shoulder blades as far together and apart as possible, and feel free to do it on your knees as well. Natasha will finish her 10 repetitions like this. Hopefully you're joining. And then I need you to do 2 more of these rounds, 20 of the lateral hops, 20 of the forward backward hops, then 10 for the good mornings and 10 for the push-ups. Let's go and put pause. Then, after this warming up, we have for you a mobility part. So to just get started, we're going to immediately sit on the floor, and we're going to go for a single leg forward fold. So one leg can be in the butterfly position, the other leg is going to be straight, and Natasha will start to reach over to her foot. Join us now. We're going to hold this for about 30 seconds. Hold your position, and every time on your exhalation, you're going to try to get your belly button even lower to your leg, to your upper leg. And if you're not so flexible, you can use, for example, a towel or anything else to hold so that you can pull yourself kind of towards your leg. We have about 5 more seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and we're switching sides. So then for the other side, you do exactly the same. Try to make deep inhalations through the nose, and on your exhale, you can try to push a little bit deeper into that stretch. And we're just gonna hold. I need you to not pull too hard on your toes. It will be then more a calf stretch. We want to get your hamstrings as well, so you kind of hold the middle of your foot as much as possible. And we'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you're going to find yourself a chair. That can be also done on a wall, for example, but we have a chair here, so that's convenient. You're going to place your hands on top of the chair, and then we'll do a T-spine stretch. So you're going to push your chest down as far as you can. Now you have to try to keep this part of your back relatively straight, and you have to push down with this part of your back. And again, we're holding it for about 30 seconds. So the arms are straight. You might feel this depending on your mobility level at different spots. Could be the upper back, could also be in the lats, kind of under your armpit. And you just keep on breathing, relax throughout your whole stretch. And we'll hold it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you're gonna come out of there and we go for the final mobility drill, a crab extension. So you place your hands about shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart, and then you're gonna bring your hips up as high as you can. Now, Natasha here has her hands placed with her fingers pointing away from your body, but when she brings her butt down, we'll do this for 5 reps. You don't have to hold it so long. Then you can put your fingers pointing out, for example. That's it. Then you can point your fingers, for example, towards your bum. Feel free to play around with this, and then we need 2 more to finish the 5. Last one. And relax. So I want you to do 1 more round of this. The seated forward fold, both on the left and the right side. Then we have the T-spine stretch on the chair, and then another 5 of these crab extensions. For now, quickly put us to pause. And then we continue with the movements of the workout. So the first movement, the skater jumps, are the same both for the equipped as well as for the body weight variation. If you have trouble with making the distance of your jump big, then you can use like a tile on the floor or like a reference point so that you have something to look at whether your jumps are large enough. And then you're gonna hop as if you're like a speed skater from one foot to the other. And every time you hop over, you bring the foot that comes towards your standing leg slightly towards the back. Now, the deeper you're gonna jump in your landing position, the harder you make it. Every jump counts as 1 rep, so we count 1, 2, 3, up until 24. Then the next movement is the dumbbell or the kettlebell snatch for the equipment variation. When you're using a dumbbell, make sure that you straighten your back in the bottom, and that in one fluid motion, after a shrug, a high pull, you bring the dumbbell straight overhead. So here we have a muscle snatch, and that will be performed alternating. Now, quick efficiency tip, and you see Natasha doing that, is that on the way down, she's already passing the dumbbell into her other hand so that on the floor she can make a touch and go rep into her new repetition. For the kettlebell snatch, it goes very similar. Feel free to put that kettlebell slightly behind your feet in the setup position, and after a high pull, you punch your knuckle to the ceiling and you land with a kettlebell overhead. This as well is alternating left and right, and for the kettlebell I would recommend you to just put it down since the starting position is a bit higher compared to the dumbbell. It is possible though to also give it into your other hand in the way down. Then for the people with no equipment, if you have a water bottle, in this case we have 1.5 liter sparkling water bottle filled, you can do a high pull with this. And in the high pull, you hold the bottle in the middle, and you're gonna pull your elbow as much to the ceiling as possible without using any legs. So you're just gonna not bend your knees like Natasha did in those two. You're just gonna be standing upright and pull as high as you can. There we go. The reason we do it without legs is because the bottle is relatively a bit lighter, and now we make it a bit more an arm, shoulder dominant movement. So after 9 reps, because the 18 is in total, you switch hands. So you go with the other hand, and you go for another 9 with the other side. Now the focus should be on a nice and straight line and on as high pull as possible, since this is a little bit of a lighter movement. If you have smaller weights at home, such as like a 1, 2, 3 or 4 kilo dumbbell, and or if you don't know the snatch movement so well, feel free to substitute it also with these high pulls. As I said, 9 per arm. Lastly, we have the double push-up burpees then. And in those double push-up burpees, you jump down into a plank, then you make first 1 push-up. After that, bring your chest down to the floor and finish your burpee. 1 more time, into the plank, 1 tight push-up, onto the floor, and you finish your burpee. The knee variation for this would be to jump into plank, then bring your knees down, do 1 knee push-up, and then finish your burpee. And this movement, we're going to perform for 12 reps in total. Now, after finishing that full round of 24, 18 and 12, you continue to move, keep repeating that round until you accomplish the whole 24 minutes. Final words, my recommendation would be to not start sprinting because this is a relatively longer workout. Slow is steady, steady is fast. If you pace well at the beginning, it's much more likely that you can continue that pace for much longer, and that will pay out in the end. That's it for today. Good luck, have fun,
Enjoy!
and don't forget to lock your scores.